So beside me here, I have the 2026 Chevy Colorado ZR2 Bison Edition in sterling gray. We're gonna do a walk around and a review on it. Let me know what you guys think. So in front of me here, I have the 2026 Chevy Colorado ZR2 Bison Edition here in sterling gray metallic. And honestly, I think the sterling gray color is probably one of my favorites on this truck. It just shows a lot more of the color combination differences around the truck. Now this one being the Bison, you're gonna get stamped steel bumpers, AEV skid plates, you're gonna get a front and rear locker, 17-inch beadlock wheels, and a couple other things which we'll go over, but I gotta say it makes this truck stand out a lot more. So we'll start here at the front. You're gonna get these LED daytime running lights here at the top. You've got LED lights. Now as we carry over into the center here, we've got a blacked out grille here. You've got the flow tie there, so it's hollow, some red inside as we can see, the ZR2 badge there on the driver's side. We've got a camera underneath to encompass your full 360 camera. There is that AEV stamped steel bumper there with your fog lights. We've got two red recovery hooks there at the bottom, and then as you can see, that massive skid plate underneath. But from just like a bottom profile view here, just looking up, I gotta say, this truck looks menacing. That is really it here at the front. Let's take a look underneath the hood and go over the engine. So taking a look underneath the hood here of this Colorado ZR2 Bison, we are sitting with the 2.7 liter turbo inline 4-cylinder, 310 horsepower and 430 pound-feet of torque paired to the 8-speed auto. It's not a terrible engine with this configuration. However, I do wish GM put a V6 turbo in here. I think it would just give it a lot more power, which may be needed in this truck. But let me know what you guys think. That's it underneath the hood here of this truck. Let's take a look around the Colorado and go over its options. All right, so let's take a look around the Colorado ZR2 Bison, and we'll start with these massive tires. We're sitting with a 17-inch beadlock wheel. We've got the AEV logo there in the center as the center cap. 315/70 R17 is the tire dimension, so it's a 35-inch tire, massive. We've got a carpeted liner inside here. Now this being the ZR2, you're gonna get your DSSV Multimatic shocks there, as we can see. Now with the Bison, you're gonna get these plastic flare fenders here as well. We can also see on the hood here, we've got the TurboMax badge there with a black decal there on the kind of hood weave they put. We've got a blacked out mirror cap here, camera underneath to encompass your full 360 camera. We can see we got the Colorado name blacked out as well. Now here's a side profile view of the truck. We can see we've got your rocker guard there, blacked out door handles, but like I said, I think the color, the sterling gray, looks really good on this truck. We can also see the ZR2 badge there on the bed. We only get keyless entry on the front two doors here, but as we open this up here, we're greeted with this kind of grayish interior here with some yellow stitching, which looks really, really good. We can see we've got all of that gray here with some black here at the top. This is a hard touch plastic. We've got your lock and unlock there, window control here, speaker down below. Nothing here on the door sills here as we can see, but we've got AEV stitched in the headrests, and the seats themselves feel really good, and I gotta say for 26 they are pretty comfy. Now unfortunately here we don't have automatic seat controls for the passenger, but you do have them on the driver. Here's a look at what the dash looks like. So you get more of that gray here with some yellow stitching, the ZR2 badge there as well, and then here's some more gray with some yellow stitching. But that is the overall kind of look of the interior. It does come with a sunroof, but yeah, this is really the interior, and I gotta say I think they've done a good job with the design layout. Now as we close this here, this is what the back looks like. So again, all that gray soft touch here with some yellow stitching. We've got your hard touch plastic here at the top, which I do wish they put kind of something nice here, like even just a soft padding here. Nothing here on the door sill. And then here is what the seats look like. So again, all soft and plush. We've got some kind of black trim here on the sides. We've got more of that yellow stitching on the headrest. Now inside here, we have two cup holders. We've got two vents and then a USB-C. But I gotta say, I'll show you guys how I would get back here as someone who's about 5'10", 5'11", because it would be crammy if the seat is pushed far back. All right, so hopping in the back here. Now one thing, without a running board or a handle, you're gonna have to kind of jump on inside. You can use this rocker guard to help you get in, but like I said, you're gonna have to jump a little bit before you get in. So inside here, I've got to say the seats themselves are actually not that bad. They're pretty comfy, but it is crammy back here. I mean, I'm about 5'11". There is a little indent here at the top for headroom, but I only have literally like 2 inches of room. So I would say if you're over like 6 feet tall, it's going to be crammy back here for sure. If this seat even moves back a little bit, like right now I've got like 5-6 inches of room, which is not bad. But if you're going to have someone taller in the front there and they have to move the seat back, it's going to be crammy. But you got your cup holders here. You've got two vents, USB-C, and you also have a 120 back here too, which is a nice thing. But for a long period of time, if you're going to sit back here, I mean, like I said, I think it would be pretty crammy. But you know, the seat themselves are comfy. And then to hop out, you can use this rocker guard. That's gonna help. Just make sure you don't slip and then kind of jump out. But let me know what you guys think. All right, so that's it for the back there. We'll shut the door, and then here's a look at that back tire and wheel. You do have your DSSV Multimatic shocks there, as we can see, and then you got a couple leaf springs there as well, carpeted liner, and then you have that fender flare, as we can see. Now that is really it for a side profile view of the truck. Let's take a look at so in the back here of the Chevy Colorado ZR2 Bison, we can see we've got the Chevrolet name stamped right there in the middle, Colorado on the left, AEV on the right. We've got your AEV bumper there with your parking sensors and 2 recovery hooks. Now you don't get LED tail lights, it looks like, but you kind of have a decent design there. We can see obviously we've got the ZR2 badge there, but overall I gotta say from a back profile view, it doesn't look like there's a lot of kind of like tech back here. There's no multi-pro or multi-flex tailgate. I'm gonna zoom out here. Now for ground clearance, this is kind of where it shines. You've got a crap ton of ground clearance here. You've got your exhaust port there too. You do have a rear locking diff, and you're also going to get a front diff locker as well. Now you do have a camera here, and then you have a keyhole here. Now this acts like a regular handle to open up the back tailgate, and it comes down very slow. Now you do have a measuring tape here, just in case you need to measure things. You also have some storage inside here if needed. Now this one does come with a full-size spare in the back here. Having said that, obviously you can see it takes up a decent amount of space in the back corner. So if you need to put things back here, you're probably gonna have to take that out. And it's not very hard to do so. But we got the spray and bed liner here. We've got tie downs in each corner. And then we also have your 120 plug there. But for, I believe, a 5-foot bed it's not too bad. And then to lift this up, all you do is grab it and lift up just like that. Let me know what you guys think, but that's it for the back here. Let's take a look at those rear seats behind the driver. All right, so taking a look at the seats behind the driver's side, we'll start with the door panel. We've got that hard touch plastic here, soft touch gray material here with some yellow stitching, speaker there, nothing here on the door sill. And this is what the seat looks like. So again, soft and plush. I think the seats themselves are very comfy. You've got some yellow stitching there. No storage here in the center as they do in the 1500s and 2500s. So one thing to note. And then here's also a look at the center. You do have that 120 plug there, USB, USB-C vents, and then your cup holders. And then here's a look at that indent there for taller passengers if needed. But that's it for the back here. All right, so taking a look inside the driver's side. So this is what the door panel looks like. So again, all soft touch material here. You got your lock and unlock here with memory seating, which is pretty cool. Window and mirror controls here. The mirrors are not power folding, but as you can see, it does have your blind spot detection in the corner. You got your yellow stitching here with some storage compartments there. Nothing here on the door sill. This is the automatic seat here on the driver's side. You don't get one on the passenger side, unfortunately, but you could see you got AEV stitch in the headrest, and the seats themselves are very comfy, I'm not gonna lie. Now over here on the left side, it does have a trailer brake controller here, and then your light dimness switch here with soft touch here with some yellow stitching. But that's really it before we hop in, guys. Let's take a look. So we are inside the Chevy Colorado ZR2 Bison. We'll start with the steering wheel. We got a leather wrap steering wheel here, and it's pretty thick, I gotta say, so it feels good. On the left side here, we've got your cruise control and forward collision alert buttons. Over here on the right side, we've got voice command, music, heated steering wheel, which is pretty cool. And then this here will control your front infotainment. So it is an accessory power mode, hence why the dash is lit up kind of like a Christmas tree. Over here, we can push this and we can cycle through the different settings here. So we've got that mode. That's pretty cool if you're gonna go off-roading. And then we've got kind of more like a clean mode, but you can cycle through and go over. You can have your maps on here. So it's just gonna depend obviously on the user. Now behind the steering wheel on the left side, we have your toggle for your wipers. Now we don't have a heads-up display here, but it does have an indication there that flashes on the window for your forward collision alert kind of indication. Now we have a speaker there, and then we also have a speaker here, and then also one on the passenger side. Over there, like I said, you got the ZR2 badge there, but the dash itself looks good, but I gotta say it is small. I mean, it is a smaller truck, so you're gonna notice that once you hop in here, but the layout of it, I would say, looks good. This is your display screen here, and it works really well. I would say that it's very intuitive, and the responsiveness of it is really good too. So as you can see, you can kind of scroll through here. You've got your hotkeys here, so you can hit audio. It'll go right to your audio. You've got maps here, and then here is your phone, so you can pair your phone, and then there's your home button there. This one here is actually your controls. So you can kind of go to your controls quickly here, and then you can go see more controls. Unfortunately, there is no light toggle knob here on the side, and I'm not sure why they keep putting things in the screen. So it's always nice to have just like a little knob there to control your lights. I think that's always something they should always do. You can go to drive and park, change your traction control, hill descent control, park assist. So a lot of cool controls here, but that is this button here at the top. You know, you've got your camera angles, and the camera angles here are fantastic, and the responsiveness is really good. So as you can see, I'm tapping it and it's going pretty quick. So, you know, you're always going to expect that in this truck. I mean, like I said, the screens may fail. That's why having a toggle for your lights and even having climate control buttons, which this has, is always a plus. Now you can control your climate in the screen, but I always prefer the buttons. It does have dual zone climate. It's got heat and ventilated seats there too. So the screen, like I said, works well. It's got LTE Wi-Fi in here. It tells you your temperature and the time, which is cool. This is also a hotkey for your lights. So if you click that, you can control your lights. Now, like I said, you got your climate control here. You've got your push button start. Over here, you got your auto stop start, your front and rear locker button there. You've got lane keeping assist, hazards, your auxiliary here too, and then you can put all your windows down. Now it does here have a wireless charging pad, USB, USB-C, and then here are your 4x4 settings. And then when you scroll through here, you're gonna go to your different modes. So you've got terrain, Baja, normal, off-road, tow haul. So it's really cool. They give you kind of a little display screen there, and then that's how you just turn it just like that. Parking brake here, and it does give you a center console shifter, which I honestly do prefer. You got your cup holders here too, and then over here in the center, you've got this kind of smaller center console area with some gray coloring with your soft touch here with yellow stitching. And then as we open this up, it doesn't look like you get a lot, but you can take this out and you get more storage, but there only is a 12 volt under there. So not much to go on underneath the center console. You do not get a rear camera mirror here. It's a normal mirror. We've got your OnStar up here, you got your light controls, and then you also have your sunroof control, which you can obviously just open this manually, and this will be automatic with these buttons here. But overall, I gotta say the interior itself is pretty clean, and it fits nicely into the truck. But like I said, the truck is small, so if you're, I would say, like over 6 foot, maybe even 6'2", 6'3", it may be a little snug in here. But let me know what you guys think. Let's go outside, talk about price with that window sticker over there, and give you guys my final thoughts. So let's talk price. 2026 Chevy Colorado ZR2 Bison edition here, we're sitting at 78,988 Canadian. So I gotta say, yeah, these truck prices have gone really high, but you know what? This truck is absolutely beautiful, especially with the Bison edition. You're gonna get those massive wheels and the metal stamp steel bumpers too. Just make it more rugged, I gotta say. But let me know what you guys think about the truck in the comments, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.